Under the soft moonlight and warm night air, they didn't just kiss, they connected. Not just their bodies. This is Den Hill High, a school where money talks and silence keeps you invisible. Daniel, he had no flash, no loud crew, just a second-hand uniform and a seat in the farthest corner of the library. But sometimes, the quiet ones are the ones you should really watch. At Den Hill High, money talked, and Daniel didn't have any. He wasn't ugly. He was just invisible. The kind of guy you'd walk past in the hallway and not even notice. His school uniform was always faded. His shoes were old and scratched. His lunchbox? Always closed. He didn't want anyone to see that all he had inside was Gary and groundnuts. But Daniel had something special: books. Not school books. He read people. It all started by accident. One rainy afternoon after school, he found an old psychology book the school counselor had thrown away. The title read, Influence, The Psychology of Silent Attraction. That book lit something up in him. From that moment, Daniel realized something big. People don't just react, they respond to small, hidden signs. The way someone walks, where they look, how they stand, all of that says more than words. He wanted to learn it all. So, he kept reading. Books about body language, confidence, emotions, how to speak and carry yourself. And he didn't just read, he practiced every single day. While other boys were chasing attention and dressing loud, Daniel studied people's tiny facial expressions. He watched the popular girls, how they spoke, what words they repeated, how they laughed at certain jokes, and how they leaned in when a guy stayed calm and confident instead of bragging. He practiced making eye contact in the mirror, not too strong, not too weak. He trained himself to walk like he mattered, even if he was broke. But most of all, he learned how to really listen and talk in a way that made people feel noticed, safe, and special. After a few months, things started changing. People began to notice him. Teachers asked for his opinions. Boys started whispering, "Why does he move like that?" And the girls, that's where it got interesting. The first was Cynthia. She was tall, light-skinned, and super popular on TikTok, over 45,000 followers. She bumped into him at the library. But instead of trying to flirt, Daniel simply asked, "Do you ever feel like everyone's talking, but you still feel alone?" That question hit her hard. She paused, then sat down beside him. They talked for 2 whole hours. She couldn't explain why, but something about Daniel made her feel safe enough to open up. Then came Amaka, bold, loud, and the kind of girl who liked roasting broke boys for fun. She once joked, "You can't afford me." Daniel didn't flinch. He smiled and said, "That's okay. You'd be way too expensive to own anyway." She blinked. No one had ever replied like that. For the first time, someone wasn't chasing her. He was matching her energy. Word spread quickly. Girls started showing up wherever Daniel was. They said he had an aura. They didn't know he was staying up late, learning psychology tricks and mirror techniques. All they knew was, when Daniel looked at you, it felt like you were the most important person in the room. By the end of the term, Daniel was walking down the hallway with girls. Everyone called daces, the ones other guys swore were impossible to get close to. He wasn't the tallest, or the richest, or the best dressed. But he was real, and that, somehow, was more attractive than anything else. Then came prom night. Daniel showed up in a clean, simple outfit. No fancy brands, no expensive shoes, just pure, quiet confidence. And by midnight, he wasn't alone. He was sitting on the back stairs behind the gym. The baddest girl in school, Typh, was on his lap, leaning close. She looked at him and whispered, "How did you learn to talk like this? You're different." Daniel smiled. He gently moved a strand of hair from her face and said, "It's not about what I say. It's about how I make you feel." And that night, under the soft moonlight and warm night air, they didn't just kiss, they connected. Not just their bodies, but their minds, their hearts. For a few minutes, it wasn't about status, or looks, or games. It was just 2 people being real with each other. If this kind of real, character-driven storytelling speaks to you, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. There's a whole lot more where this came from, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.